Alrighty everyone, welcome to the EagleEye Sprint Review for Sprint 86. Today we have our full dev team and our Sydney stakeholders. Let's jump in and we'll show you what we've been working on. Okay, so as we can see here, this is a 1 week sprint that we've had, and we had the goal to finish the onboarding PBI for testing the customer instance setup. So this was one that was shared between Luke and Sam, and it was for them to test out our onboarding process and make sure that it's up to scratch for new users. So we'll jump on down to that in the sprint backlog.
I'm very happy to see a tick there, but what does the tick actually mean?
So they've gone through and created all the PBIs that are related to the work that needs to be done to streamline our current process, or more so streamline the documentation for our current process.
Right. And was it more improvements to the software or more improvements to the docs?
Mainly improvement for the docs, but there is a couple there for the software, and there's sort of step through wizard, but we can touch on that in the sprint planning. Yeah.
Are we following the SSW rule on canary testing?
Always, but could you elaborate on that one?
It tells me who has started going through the onboarding and given a tick or a cross.
Okay, right. So I guess we haven't got a list done up, but that is something we should definitely do. Yeah,
okay.
We'll be trying to pass it out to a few other people to test.
Okay, all right. Yep, just look at that canary rule.
For sure. Yep. Cool. Alrighty, scrolling down here, timesheet data, we can see that the main amount of work there was Hark, shortly followed by Luke, then followed by Sam. Quite a fair bit of work being done up in Queensland this sprint. Cool. What was done? Okay, so as we can see here, whole bunch of green on the backlog, which is great to see. Starting off at number 1, we had a bit of carryover from the last sprint for adding the agents.md to the repository. This has been added and merged, which is great.
Has it helped much?
Luke?
No, I haven't worked on actually EagleEye this like I just did documentation, so I'm not sure. What about you, Luke?
For me, I can't tell the difference.
You can't tell the difference. Okay, all right. Yeah. Sam, do you can you tell the difference?
Oh, yeah,
can't hear you.
It's not coming through.
Sorry. Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Now the AI work you've done has used agents MD. Have you noticed any difference?
No.
Right, okay. All right. Good.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Stepping on down, the next was fixing API deployment. So as you may recall, there was a little bit of an issue with the API last week following the continual update work that we did that allows users to update their instance through Azure Marketplace. So Luke has been able to go through and fix that one up. Then there was another 2 similar and related bugs. Luke, do you want to quickly touch on those 2?
Yeah. So for this bug, Microsoft installation failed. Yeah. So it is because Microsoft is adding more strict validation on ARM template. Yeah, and it is causing failure. So there are 2 issues. I fixed this. Yeah, and after that, Sam can successfully install the EagleEye from Azure Marketplace. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Cool. Alrighty. So next one there, onboard. As we mentioned, this was the sprint goal. We were able to go through and get a whole bunch of feedback and PBIs for improvements out of that, which we'll see in the planning. Next one there, install docs, add prerequisite checklist. So just another PBI there for the documentation on the website. Same goes to the next one for redeployment docs and cleanup. So next one there was actually a PBI, which we were able to throw over to Copilot and have AI have a crack at, which worked out quite well.
Rick and Callum, you can tell that because of the little emoji. the little robot emoji. So they just threw that into Copilot, and I'm keen to hear what was the experience.
Yeah, so I'll pass it to Sam for that one.
Hello. So this one was a really small scope user interface change, just to the update kind of UX flow. So when a user moves to that page, they want to click a button. There was a weird UX where you would click it and be kind of locked, be trapped there. I sat down, spec'd out what that should look like, how that should work, wrote a little PBI with a yak shave, modified it a bit after, and then just tossed it at Copilot. It got it mostly correct. I then pulled the code, ran it, looked at it. It decided to change the styling of the button, but then I just commented on that PR that, hey, don't do that. And it promptly fixed it, and I merged it. It was nice.
Awesome. Can you just open it, Huck, so we can see it?
Can you guys see it? So this
Right.
was
Did you try to improve the yak shave from what you recorded?
Yes. So the reproduction steps below, I believe. Oh, I might be wrong, but if you scroll to the top, Luke, Hark. Maybe this one I didn't. Okay.
So
No, I just set yak
just
shaver on
yak
it. There you
shaved
go.
it, record the video, and that's that, and it just was completely successful.
Yep, for the most part. Yep.
What's the for the most part mean?
Well, I did have to, like, if you look at the pull request on the right, Hark, if you jump into that under the code generated, there you go. If you scroll to the bottom, you'll see that it did some work for us. But if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see a comment from me.
Where is it? Here.
Should be in there.
Might be a bit further
Should
up.
be in the solved. Show solved.
Show
Here?
resolved.
This one. Yeah.
Resolved. Yeah.
So that's
No,
the
but this
Copilot
is-
one. So
this was
Copilot helping
Copilot
itself,
one.
which is good.
Can't see your comment.
Should definitely be there.
This one.
There you go.
Interestingly.
Interestingly, you changed the style of the button to no longer be primary. It's now a see-through.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for this. Please just leave it as the primary button. Okay, so you looked at the UI, it wasn't perfect. You said that, and then it fixed it, did it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Restore to primary in
Nice.
this commit.
Okay.
Hmm?
All right. Great. It's good progress.
Awesome. That's really cool to see, actually. AI generating the PBI and then AI addressing the PBI just with a little bit of human input. That's wicked.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. So that's all the done PBIs. Would you like us to touch on the ones that we worked on or didn't quite get to this sprint?
If there was significant progress on something.
Yeah, okay. Neither of them really got significant progress. The GitHub metrics weren't quite there yet, and
Sure.
that one's still blocked. Cool. Alrighty, I'll pass on to Hark for the rest of the review.
All right. So as per our conversation last sprint review, that we need to standardize the template. So we added sprint burn up chart this sprint. So you can see this is for last 1 month. If you want me to go in the details for this chart.
Not necessary, but it's up to you.
Okay, I'll just quickly go through. So the green means the total number of issues in our backlog, like scope of the work, and purple means how much we are done. So purple is increasing. It means we are completing backlog items, but we are also adding new backlog items. So the difference is this much work is left for the whole sprint backlog. And next is code coverage. So we also added code coverage this sprint, and you can see it is 39% currently, and mainly into these 3 sub .NET folders or projects, 53%. For application, for domain, it is 21%, and for infrastructure, it is 93%. Any questions?
I would just tell you to get rid of the decimal places on this thing. It's not necessary.
All right, we can fix that in the next sprint. And
or fix it before you press send on the email.
oh, actually, this is screenshots from pipeline. So this is the result is generated. So we need to fix
so
up.
maybe you can't change it. Okay.
Yeah. Next, the deployments. So we have 3 products website deployment, which were mostly the documentation changes. And then we have 4 production deployment for SSW and marketplace instance. And then these are email scan jobs for SSW instance. You can see for the last 7 days. On the weekends, it was mostly average 2 minutes, 3 minutes job execution time. And in the weekdays, it's around 17 to 18 minutes job execution time.
Right, because there's much less emails.
Emails, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Do we want to put an extra column with the number of emails it's scanning?
I think that's a good stat to have.
Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, so this is from container app job in Asia. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what about a normal EagleEye user? They can't go into there. Shouldn't we be rendering this in the actual UI so they can see what's going on?
So it's actually in our portal. Yeah.
Oh, so that's not.
This screenshot is from container app in Asia, but we do have this page on our portal to check the jobs. Yeah.
Couldn't we change that to what the user sees?
We can. Yeah. I think
right.
it's possible to get the email scan data.
Yeah. See if you can put that in Hark and replace this, or just say this is the last time we show this. This is the new view.
All right. So I think this is the last time we're gonna show from Azure portal. From next sprint forward, we're gonna show the screenshot from the portal itself, so that all the users.
Yes, but before you send this email, just mention that this is the last time and put the new screenshot in it.
All right, I'm gonna put a to-do here.
Okay, fine.
To-do. Change the screenshot before sending. All right. So number 7 is the report views for our products website. Top 3 users: Levi, Yuli, and Stefan. And product roadmap, we completed 3 done in customer instance setup epic, and 1 is in progress, which is videos. And then we were doing 1 in GitHub integrations, which our priorities shifted. So that is still in progress. And we didn't do any playwright testing this sprint. And moving ahead, for research, for me, I did custom components in Tina CMS for our products website. So how to add custom components in the documentation website. I added code block component, which is looking very beautiful. And for Luke, he has to do research about the new ARM template validations because of our pipeline was failing. So he has learned and fixed that. For AI usage, Luke is Cursor Opus 4.6, Gemini and Yakshiver. This week he is hitting the limits for Cursor. For me, I hit the limit last week for Opus 4.6, and this week I hit for Sonnet 4.6, and now I changed to anti-gravity Gemini 3.1 Pro, which is actually awesome.
Hark, have you used Opus 4.6?
Not this week, because I used all my limit last week.
Right.
So I'm changed to Sonnet 4.6, and
right.
I have also hit the limit for that one as well.
And only Sam is paying for.
Yeah.
What are you paying for, Sam? Copilot.
Yes. So when you go past your budget, you can allocate extra upper percent budget on top of your Copilot subscription. So when you go over, you can just put more in. I'm definitely going and do it.
Right.
It's 34.
Can you just get rid of the decimal place there?
Yeah.
How much are you spending, Sam?
Last month it was $6, so it wasn't too bad. This month, so far, it's projected to be about 13. So it's
double.
By the end of the month, it'll probably be like 30 or something.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you put just change money to $9, estimate $30?
Yeah. Notably, the only thing that I think is worth talking about here on my one is I swapped from Opus to Sonnet. I can actually see no discernible difference between Opus 4.6 and Sonnet 4.6 thinking. That is saying.
as far as I understand, Opus will use more tokens, but you will have less retries and less problems. That's what I'm seeing. Callum, what's your experience?
Yeah, I think it really depends on what exactly you're doing. There are obviously some tasks that Sonnet does the same thing as Opus if it's fairly straightforward. I typically just use Opus for everything with the max subscription because why not? But yeah, I don't know if you're able to save money by using Sonnet and you're getting the same result, then go for it.
Yeah. So like the diff for me is I used Opus for a week and I went from 17 to 70 something percent. And this week I used pretty much exclusively Sonnet and I jumped from that last 70 something percent to 134. So in terms
Right.
of usage, I don't know, much the same.
How much are you spending a month, Callum?
It's $200 a month.
Just for
Max.
just for Max with Claude, is that right?
Yep.
Okay. What are you spending, Rick?
$30 on Copilot.
Okay. All right.
Is it
Cool.
is it $30 or Australian?
Yeah, 30 US.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
Okay. What about
It's not
Yeah.
$30 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
what
Get
about
yourself
you,
in trouble
Sam?
with Mehmet saying that.
So
Is
I have
this-
a Copilot Pro subscription. So that 30 is actually on top of my already existing 30
Okay.
something dollars that's a Copilot
Right.
subscription.
Oh, subscription. Is it US dollars?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So next is Claude stats. Luke, you wanna go? Or I think Sam's gonna go through Claude stats.
Yeah, I'll go through it. There's some
Yeah.
interesting things to talk about. I'm gonna steal the screen if that's okay.
Yeah, that's totally okay, man.
And Hart, can you just
Everyone-
put a link and an image of probably whatever Sam's favorite view is?
Will do.
Epic. So in here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs that we could go through. I'm just going to walk you through 2 or 3 that I think are interesting. So the first one is the meeting summary itself. The reason I think this is interesting is this is actually quite useful to send to yourself, Adam. So if you were unable to attend this meeting, having read through this, I'm actually pretty comfortable to say I could just copy paste this to you and you'd get a pretty accurate summary of what's going on.
Oh wow.
I believe. Key decisions, not so much.
Hold on. Are you just going to
oh.
tell me the most important sentence there?
Sure. I think the most important one is probably what got done and what is being planned. So what got done is pretty simple. The team successfully completed the sprint goal. So that's good, which is they killed a high priority API bug, resolved Azure Marketplace ARM template validation issues and automation of the pipeline. So they did some infra work. And then what they've planned is they're going to be primarily working on that EagleEye Azure migration, Azure Marketplace migration of the SSW instance. And then adding some playwright tests, which makes sense if you're changing the infra a lot. That make sense?
Yep, it's good.
Happy days. The other things that are down here is the hard truth here within that meeting. So at some point in the meeting, someone said that the actual migration work, which is the planning work, is going to be really big. And then someone asked if it was 1 week. And so there's clearly some disconnect between what this is. The reason I brought this up is it says who this is useful for, which is Toby, who I believe was in the meeting, and yourself, Adam. So it might be worth bringing up here, like when we're trying to move SSW's instance off being a boutique instance of EagleEye into a marketplace usage version of EagleEye, why is there some sort of disconnect on how long or how hard this will be?
I think that was just because when we're going through the original Epic, it was a bit more of a flashy feature, I suppose. Like there was a lot of extra moving parts compared to like what you and I sort of spoke about, how we could probably knock it over in a week. So that was the difference there. I'm not sure if AI is really capturing it there, but it is interesting that it's calling it out specifically to Adam and I. I reckon that is important.
Yeah. Okay. The last one that I thought was interesting was this last point, which is part-time allocation is killing the momentum of the team. So 7 days of capacity split across 3 people is just inefficient. Which the reason I point this out is I think I personally do feel this. Like, for example, Luke being split between Sophie Claw and and EagleEye is painful necessarily, just because you might make a pull request on one day, but then you can't be there to be part of the review on the next, and so on and so forth.
I really do think when people have a pull request, work should stop on what you're doing and you answer it and unblock the person to continue. I don't know how do you feel about that, Rick? If you're not working on something but you have to look at a pull request with somebody, is that reasonable? Not reasonable?
I think it's reasonable.
How do you feel, Callum?
Yeah, sounds reasonable to me.
Sam?
Me, yeah, I think that's reasonable. The only
Okay.
thing that I would say is that obviously you don't want to like context switch someone off something important if they're doing like say
No, of
something for a
course.
client or whatnot.
But
But
there's
so you
nothing
have
wrong
to
with
be
saying,
careful.
yeah, and obviously you wouldn't want a monster one, but a pull request that needs someone, you to hand hold them through. This is what I've done. Anything of concern there? No, great, accept it.
Yeah.
Look,
So that's this
as
overview page.
AI writes more and more stuff, the pull requests are going to be checking for readability rather than every single line perfect. I just think there's going to, you just don't want to commit something that is a mess, but if it looks reasonably well and it's got tests around it, should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the other things that I thought were interesting were in the peoples and roles and trends. And they kind of say the same thing, which is the team dynamic. So it's saying that the EagleEye team specifically is a small functional team with clear role separation. So Hark drives a lot of the process, Toby is the stakeholder, and Luke Mao is the technical expert on things like the marketplace. So 3 key players doing 3 different roles that work well. So that's good. And then the other theme is the trajectory, which is, again, something I might send to yourself, Adam, which is the team is cooking along, Azure Marketplace automation and customer onboarding is their goal, and that's it. So I could take the overview meeting or the trend stat and send that to you, and I feel like you'd have a pretty adequate representation of how the team is going along.
Okay.
Awesome. I'll pass back to yourself, Hark.
Thank you. So I have pasted the screenshot for Cloud stats and the figure.
Thank you.
And also I have changed the schedule scans, which looks like this on the portal. And they don't say how many emails. So yeah, we need to update how many emails they scanned. Anyway, so moving ahead. So this is Copilot stats given by Luke. I was the most talkative person because I was running the Scrum, this one. And then second is Luke and Toby. Sam didn't join us because he was busy. And then we asked Copilot what was the main item completed. It is partially correct. It showed finishing the customer instance setup, but we also solved the bug, which was critical. So, and now let's do the sprint retro. So what went well? Main item is from Toby is he had productive chat with Adam regarding the priorities. So which is that finishing this customer instance setup to make EagleEye much more easy to install for customers and improving the documentations. And the other one was that Sam actually tested this up and found more documentation enhancement opportunities and more streamlining processes for actually installing from EagleEye Marketplace. What didn't go so well? So Sam said, I think this is important, not enough refined work. So like we said, our backlog is filled with Yakshiver PBIs, which we need to enhance before actually working on them.
How about you try to improve that by each daily scrum, you do one item on the backlog. You refine one thing. So you kind of get in the cadence of doing it.
Yeah,
I think you're cheating, Adam. You're reading ahead, aren't you?
Yeah.
No, I hadn't actually read it. Okay.
Yes, Sam has the similar suggestion that daily refinement meeting.
Very funny. Okay.
Luke said we are losing Sam for a couple of weeks. And then Sam said he was pulled off work mid-sprint. It is what it is. that didn't go well.
But I think, Sam, you're still happy to accept pull requests, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Done
Okay.
code is priority over everything else.
Okay, good.
And then improvements, as Sam and Adam somehow telepathically said the same thing, that we should have daily refinement meetings every day. So we're gonna have that. And Sam is asking Toby and me to attend Brisbane retreat. I'm gonna attend, not sure about Toby. So all right, so this was our retro, and I'm gonna send this email afterwards. Let's move to our forecast.
Alrighty,
Is-
cool. So I can quickly touch on the forecast again. So it's going to be another 1 week sprint, and we're again going to be targeting the tenant provisioning. So just finishing off those PBIs that were related to the initial onboarding test from Luke and Sam. So we're addressing those. And then the second one is also having a clear plan for migrating the SSW instance to match our marketplace offering. So we just want to make sure that everything's aligned, we're confident with our deployments before we start moving on with new features. Cool. So skipping on down, the work that's involved in that. End-to-end test probably shouldn't be at the top of this grid, but we'll adjust that after the meeting. So the first one there is just adding some more playwright tests for Hark. The next ones are to do with updating the documentation. This is aligned with some of the things that were identified during the provisioning test. The following is model default. So at the moment we have a step in the marketplace wizard, which allows you to select the model that you're going to be using and also define a whole bunch of other related data for it. It's just a little bit of an overcomplication for the setup process. So we're going to be removing it from the initial wizard and adding a PBI, which will allow us to configure this later on once the instance has been set up.
And
cool. Final one there is the video. At the moment, it has been blocked, but as we mentioned earlier, this is going to have a bit of an over-the-shoulder review with the TV team after lunch. Perfect.
Can I encourage you that the backlog there should at least have a couple of ones similar to what Sam did with the robot emoji, that you can see if each one of you, Hark and Luke, had success, just like Sam, on little ones where it just did it. The more little successes you'll have, the more bigger successes you'll have.
Yeah, so fair. I think the documentation PBIs are probably a good one for that. We can throw that in with a bit of guidance. I feel like it's just content really that would be pushing out. So
great. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. And next is the Copilot stats for forecast. So we asked Copilot what was the next item mail, and then it says simplifying and improving the provisioning documentation and process, which is again partially correct. I would say partially correct, because our second sprint goal is to have a clear migration plan for SSW EagleEye instance to move to marketplace. So this
Okay.
was our
put a cross next to it. If it's not a tick, it's not a tick.
Okay, partially correct.
Okay.
Amazing.
All good.
Alrighty.
So-
Well, thanks for everyone for joining us today for the review and planning. As usual, we'll upload the video onto the SSW EagleEye YouTube channel, where you can watch the remainder of our reviews and planning. Amazing. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining. See you next week.
Cheers. Bye.